everybody, welcome to the second part of yesterday's kitchen cabinet build, which is actually probably part 50 million of the whole project. It seems like it's been going on for ages and I'm really happy to have it finishing up. So there's lots to do in this video, and I thought that before we get into the work, I would take you to a punk festival, because why not? I have realized that my new life goal is to get my face on a souvenir plastic cup. You'll maybe find out why later. So watch on. I've got some fun stuff, I've got some building stuff, and I've got the end of this project, except for the countertop, which will come in the future. But for now, we're moving on to other things from here on out. If you haven't seen the first video yet, you can click on the link somewhere up there and watch that. And let's just get into it. Let's go to a punk festival and let's get to work. I hope you enjoy the video. What a stunning evening. I'm walking up the track to the main road where I'm meeting a friend who is picking me up, and we're going to go to dinner, meeting some other friends. And then we're going to a festival in a little village on the other side of the Gardunias, the Gardunia Mountains, called Fatela. Apparently, there's a weekend punk festival on right now. I'm not a particularly punky type of person. I don't know anything about punk, but my one friend is really into it, and the rest of us are joining him for an evening of punk rock, man. So, should be interesting. It should be fun. It really is such a lovely time of year, and this time of day, it's about 6:30, I think. It's really nice. And yeah, I should definitely come out for more walks. This walk's destination is dinner and drinking, so it's a bit different, but a walk for exercise now and then would be really nice at this time. So that was a fun night out. Punk festivals, who knew? I've never seen so many face tattoos in one place in my life. But it was a fun crowd. It was a really good night out, and I'm definitely going to be looking forward to going to that next year. Random, but very fun. But now it's time to get to work, and if I'm honest, the punk festival is Saturday. Today is Monday. I had all kinds of things planned for work on Sunday, but the punk festival did me in. I enjoyed myself, and Sunday was not a day for working, it was a day for resting. But I'm eager to get started today, and I have a bunch of stuff on my list. Lime the corner, finish the shelves, reassemble the tongue and groove, and tidy the house. So that's a lot of stuff. It's definitely 2 days worth of work. I was planning on doing some yesterday, but like I said, alas, the hangover got me. So it's a very ambitious day. I've got a lot to do, so I'm gonna get started. And what I don't get done today, I'll do on a different day. So let's get going. I'm going to start with making these shelves and then go from there. So I have all of my food products over here in anticipation of being put in there. So that's exciting times. And I have decided actually that I'm going to put a piece of trim on the vertical here, because this goes in a little bit, and if I don't, there'll be just a little space. So it's just kind of a way of covering that space up. I'm not going to do it this way because joining everything up will be a nightmare I don't know how to deal with, and I think it'll look fine. So decision made. It means I have to cut off a little bit more of this corner here. And yeah, ready for installation. And I'm also more or less ready to go with this shelf. I want to give it one more final sand and the linseed oil. And so I need to put that in place so I can then measure the size of the front part of the shelf. I've decided to do the shelf in 2 pieces because it means it'll be easier to remove later on if I want to for some reason. So let's put this piece in place and get it measured. So I just need to finish this off with a handsaw. The reason I didn't just cut the whole way across is because I don't really know what I want to do with the rest of the wood, so it's always better to keep things in as full a piece as you can. So I'll finish cutting this, get it sanded and oiled, and then move on to the next task. Trying to do this with my left hand. It's not ideal. So it's a bit too tight a fit, which is kind of annoying. So what I'll do is, instead of trying to, skim off a whole bunch of this, I'll probably just cut out some little notches there and at the other side so it nestles in nicely. I haven't gone all the way to the front on this side because eventually this is going to have maybe a curtain or maybe a door, but either way I want the recess in there for whichever I decide to use. Okay, I'm quite happy with this. There's kind of an annoying space here, but the shelf will serve the purpose of holding stuff on top of it, so I'm pleased. I'm going to oil it up, let it dry. Okay, so down here I've clamped the side on just to know where everything's going to be, along with the trim. And I'm going to put another little piece of trim just there, basically, so it means I have to cut off a small portion of this here, and then cut this long piece to size. All right, I've got the 2 shelves and the 2 little bits of trim. And everything needs another couple of coats of linseed oil, but I'll let it sit out here and dry for a while and come back at it a little later today. I can already tell that filming this is going to be very difficult in this tight space. So here's the before. Got some gaps behind the corner there. Something there, some little gaps there, and definitely some gaps at the bottom. And I also want to pad out the front a little bit. So, and get some lime behind there. So the lighting's not great. The space isn't conducive to filming. So this is the before. I will see you at the after stage. I'm tired and I haven't eaten dinner yet, so it's time to have some dinner and call it quits on work for the day. So let me show you what I've done. You can compare the before with the after, and yeah, just sticking lime in cracks, but it's surprisingly time consuming. Got the light, so it's quite dark, but you can kind of see I've rounded this out, probably to the level that it'll remain at. It needs a final plaster on it eventually. And then obviously in here isn't so important because you won't really see it, but I wouldn't mind getting the back nice and flat. And I've plugged in all the little holes, more or less, and kind of plugged the corner up as well. So you can imagine there's going to be a counter going over all of this. So I'm not going to actually continue up the wall plastering until I figure out what I'm doing with that. What I will do tomorrow is, since I have all the lime ready and all the stuff out, is continue going up this wall and plaster that a little bit more, at least behind where the stove is going to be. I might also extend out a little bit more over there. It just lightens up the place. The more I can get rid of the rocks, and yeah, it's going to need to get done eventually anyway, so I might as well do it now. So yeah, not bad for an evening of work, and I'm going to call it quits. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. So dark. What's that? Who's there? Hello? Is it Mikey? Hello, baby boy. Hello. Okay, I think I'm finally ready to get this thing attached. And then I'm going to lime the back wall a little bit, and then I'm going to move this outside, and then I'm going to shift this over, and then I will have way more space to play with. I'm very excited for this. It's been a long time coming. So, first things first, let's finish this shelf and get the side on. This tiny hammer is not ideal, but I can't find my big one, which is another reason to tidy up because I don't know where anything is. So I'm using this, it's getting the job done. Yeah, tiny hammer, tiny nail. No idea how this will go or how to put this in. Let's go diagonally. Hopefully this doesn't split. I truly have no idea what I'm doing. Should probably pre-drill a little, but I'm not gonna. So small. Cool. I am very happy with that. I really like those tiny nails. I'm gonna be looking forward to adding trim onto other things in the future. Next up, I'm gonna lime the wall right here. I'm not gonna film it because it just takes too long. You've seen me doing plenty of lime in the past. I will check in again soon with a limed wall and hopefully a gas bottle ready to go out the hole outside. I've stopped for lunch to have a little break, and I thought I would just let you know what I'm dealing with right now. I've moved everything away from the wall so I can get some lime on it. I've got the side on the cabinet, the shelves in, and over here is Chaos Land. So this is the before, and very soon I hope there will be a very lovely, beautiful after. Now is not it, but soon. Wow, I am exhausted. Done a bunch of liming, but I haven't put anything in place, disappointingly. The corner of darkness seems even darker than before somehow. Yeah, so I've been hard at work. I've made up a whole other batch of mix, and I've got a half a bucket of that left, which I'm gonna put on the wall in the morning, and I'll shift everything into place. And then for real, I promise, this gas bottle will be banished outside once and for all. Finally. I would do it now, but I'm afraid that something might go wrong on the reassembly, and I won't be able to cook my spaghetti and meatballs, and that would make me really sad because I'm quite looking forward to these spaghetti and meatballs. So I've got my dinner to cook. I'll put things more or less back the way they were and tidy up a little bit, but it'll be back out again tomorrow and it'll be chaos once more. But then after that, the chaos, at least in this corner, at least for now, will be gone. And I'll move on to a different corner of chaos and do it all again. So yeah, it's been a big day of work, and I'm looking forward to chilling out for the rest of the night and tackling this again tomorrow. Good morning from a new day. Today is gas bottle goes outside day, and I'm very excited. I've been looking forward to this fine day for quite some time, and it's finally here. I can finally get rid of this gas bottle, stick it outside, reassemble my kitchen into something that's a little less crazy, and yeah, try to live a little bit more like a normal person. So I'm going to finish my coffee and then tackle this gas bottle finally, once and for all. Okay, here we go. Finally, the moment of truth. I've done a massive tidy up. I've given the stove more than a superficial clean. I've actually even washed the back of it. I scraped off the floor where all the lime fell, and I'm ready to push the stove into this cleanish corner that has the side paneling of the cabinet on it, and put the gas bottle outside and be done with this job. But before I do that, I just want to show you something that is really quite amazing and entirely accidental. It's a perfect fit. And so this is amazing to me. I've got all my spices in here, some other random things like salt, a giant container of oregano. Everyone needs one. I actually have two. And underneath this, the tins and jars and stuff will still fit. And best of all, when I put the lid back on, I have another working space. So I am very pleased with this. Totally accidental, but it's a perfect fit, and I'll take all the counter space I can get. Obviously, at some point, I'm going to put a countertop on here. I haven't decided what I want to use. I don't really have the money to buy anything at the moment. And I'm going to want the countertop to match the other countertop spaces in the rest of the kitchen. So I'm definitely in no rush to put anything on here. I was just going to cobble together some pieces of wood and stick them across the top. But this is even better. Spice storage. So I am very happy with this. Little nice surprise. Okay, enough of that though. Let's get this gas bottle outside. I was afraid this might happen. Getting this plastic bit off of the metal bit is proving a little bit more difficult than I was expecting. I don't have the strongest of hands, and so I was kind of concerned about this. There's probably some strategy I could be using to do this, but I think I'll just get the hacksaw and saw it off and worry about putting it back on when the time comes. All right, I'm ready. A hacksaw is another amazing tool. Always comes in handy for the most random of things. So very good to have one of these in your toolbox. Okay, now I'll just saw this guy off. I'm not entirely sure that I should be using my gas tank as a workbench, but there you go. Okay, liberated. I don't think I've ever been so excited for such a ridiculous little tiny job. But pipe is through wall, and I forgot that I actually have to cut this off to size. I also want to angle the cut, put it down, so that water doesn't have a tendency to want to drip in. How not to use a hacksaw. So I'm very pleased with this. I'm really happy about this surprise countertop space. I'm very happy with how the stove oven combo thing is fitting into place. And the space is tight, but it is a tiny house, and there's definitely, you know, space to open the fridge and to work. And especially once I get rid of all this crap behind me on the floor, it'll probably feel, I hope, nice and open and spacious. One thing to note is that the countertop will actually come out quite a bit more than where it's at now. I actually would have preferred maybe for the oven to go back a bit more. I'm contemplating removing this glass thing. The reason I have it pulled out a bit is because the glass thing needs to open up a bit more than 90 degrees. So I can probably get the oven in maybe 3 or 4 more centimeters, and then whatever countertop I end up using will sort of come out to here. So it all should fit in quite nicely, I think, I hope. Okay, now let's see if I can figure out how to get this hose pipe back on. So let's see here. Hopefully it's easy to get these on and just to get them off. All signs point to yes. Well, so far so good. And success! I'm so happy to have this job done. But first, let's go inside and see if it actually works. Let's see if we can fire up the old stove and make a cup of coffee, actually. And yeah, so another job ticked off the list. This one seems to have taken forever, but it's finished and I can move on to the next thing. And so this seems like a good time to say goodbye from this video. So I'll say goodbye from this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. There will be no more kitchen cabinetry videos for a long time, and possibly you'll never see another video relating to gas tanks ever again on this channel. Disappointing for some perhaps, but for me, it feels like the right choice. So if you have any questions, or even if you just want to say hello, leave me a comment. I really do love getting them, and I love responding and just hearing from people. So I'll say goodbye. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you next time.